What really happened the moment Jungkook stepped onto that stage is something fans are still trying to process. Was it just another performance? Or was it the exact second the global hierarchy of dance was completely rewritten because what unfolded wasn't normal? It wasn't expected. And it certainly wasn't something even the most devoted fans could have predicted. For years, the title of World Dance King has been associated with elite performers, artists whose names dominate competitions, global tours, and viral choreography trends. These are individuals who spent decades mastering movement, rhythm, and expression. They weren't just dancers. They were institutions. And then came Jungkook, at first. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The lights dimmed. The crowd roared. Cameras flashed like lightning across the arena. Fans screamed his name, expecting something powerful, something polished, something Jungkook level. But what they got was something entirely different. The music began, slow, almost deceptive. A soft intro that felt like the calm before a storm. Jungkook stood still for a brief second. Just 1 second. But in that moment, something shifted. His gaze changed. His posture tightened. It was as if he wasn't just preparing to dance. He was about to make a statement. And then, it happened. The first move .it wasn't flashy. It wasn't loud. But it was precise. Unbelievably precise. Every muscle in his body moved in perfect synchronization with the beat, creating a visual illusion that felt almost unreal. Fans watching live held their breath. Those watching online replayed the moment over and over again. How is that even possible? Comments flooded social media within seconds. But Jungkook didn't stop there. What followed was a sequence of movements so fluid, so controlled, and yet so explosively powerful that even professional dancers began reacting in real time. His transitions were seamless. His timing, flawless. His expressions, completely immersive that he wasn't just dancing, he was telling a story of growth, of pressure, of evolution. Of someone who started as a young trainee and transformed into a global phenomenon. Every step felt intentional. Every gesture carried emotion. And then came the moment that changed everything. Mid-performance, the tempo suddenly shifted. The beat dropped harder, faster, more aggressive. This is where most dancers show their peak technique. But Jungkook, he went beyond technique that he adapted instantly, switching styles with a level of versatility that stunned even seasoned choreographers. Hip-hop blended into contemporary. Sharp isolations melted into smooth waves. Power moves transitioned into delicate, almost poetic motions. It was as if he wasn't bound by a single style anymore. He had become the style. Clips of this exact moment began spreading across platforms within minutes. TikTok exploded. Twitter, now X, trended worldwide. YouTube reaction channels uploaded breakdowns at record speed. And then, the comparisons began. Fans and critics alike started asking the same question. Did Jungkook just surpass the world's top dancers? Some said it was too early to tell. Others were more direct. He didn't just surpass them, one viral comment read. He redefined the standard. Professional dancers began analyzing the performance frame by frame. They pointed out his control over micro-movements, his ability to maintain energy without losing precision, and his emotional delivery, something many technically skilled dancers struggle with. One expert even stated, "What Jungkook did here is something you can't teach. It's instinct, discipline, and artistry combined at the highest level." And that's when the narrative shifted. This wasn't just about a good performance anymore. This was about a takeover. A moment where the line between idol dancer and world-class dancer completely disappeared, because Jungkook didn't just prove he could compete, he proved he could dominate. Fans, army, were quick to celebrate. Hashtags flooded timelines. Edits showcasing his performance gained millions of views in hours. Some even compared this moment to legendary performances in dance history. But what made this even more shocking was the reaction from the global dance community. Instead of denial, there was acknowledgement. Top dancers, choreographers, and instructors began praising Jungkook openly. Some admitted they were blown away. Others said they needed to study that performance. And perhaps the most telling reaction of all, silence, from those who were once considered untouchable. Because sometimes, when something truly groundbreaking happens, there are no words. Only recognition that, as the performance ended, Jungkook stood there, breathing heavily, sweat glistening under the stage lights. The crowd erupted into deafening cheers. It wasn't just applause, it was acknowledgement, respect, even disbelief that he bowed. But the world knew this wasn't just another performance to bow after. This was history. And just when fans thought it couldn't get more intense, behind-the-scenes footage began to surface. Practice clips showed Jungkook repeating the same move dozens of times, perfecting angles, adjusting timing, pushing his body beyond visible limits. To it became clear. This moment wasn't accidental. It was built. Every hour of training, every drop of sweat, every ounce of determination led to this exact performance. And suddenly, the headline made sense. Unbelievable. Jungkook outperforms the world's dance king with this move. Because it wasn't just one move. It was everything. The control, the passion, the evolution. But perhaps the most important question remains unanswered. What happens next? Has Jungkook officially taken the crown? Or is this just the beginning of an even bigger transformation? Fans are already speculating. Some believe this marks the start of a new era, one where Jungkook steps beyond music and into global dance influence. Others think this performance will inspire a wave of new dancers trying to emulate his style. But one thing is certain. The world is watching more closely than ever. And Jungkook? He's just getting started. So now the question turns to you. Did Jungkook just become the new king of dance? Or has he already gone beyond titles entirely? Because if this performance proved anything, it's that limits no longer apply. And the next move might just shock the world even more. And just when the world thought it had seen everything, something even more unexpected began to unfold. The aftermath of that performance didn't slow down. It escalated. Within hours, the name Jungkook was dominating global trends across every major platform. It wasn't just fans anymore. It was critics. It was professionals. It was people who had never even followed K-pop before suddenly asking the same question. Who is this guy? And how did he just do that? Reaction videos multiplied at an unbelievable rate. Some creators paused every second of the choreography, zooming into his footwork, analyzing his breathing, even studying the way his shoulders moved between transitions. What they found only made things more intense. There were no mistakes, not a single visible flaw. And in the world of professional dance, that alone is almost unheard of. But what truly shook the industry wasn't perfection, it was intention. Every move Jungkook executed carried a purpose. It wasn't random choreography stitched together to look impressive. It was layered, strategic, emotional. There was a narrative hidden inside the rhythm, and the more people watched it, the more they began to notice subtle details they had completely missed the first time. That a slight pause before a beat drop, a controlled breath that synced perfectly with the music, a shift in expression that transformed the entire mood of the performance. It was as if Jungkook wasn't just dancing to the music, he was becoming the music. And then came the moment that fans are now calling the turning point. A clip, just 7 seconds long, started going viral at an insane speed. In that clip, Jungkook performs a transition move that, at first glance, looks simple. But when slowed down, it reveals something almost unbelievable. His body isolates in two completely different rhythms at once. Upper body, smooth and flowing. Lower body, sharp and percussive. .2 styles. One body. Perfect synchronization. Professional dancers who saw this moment reacted immediately. That's not supposed to be possible at that level of control, one commented. Another simply said, I've been dancing for 15 years, and I don't understand how he did that. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about whether Jungkook was good.